Hey everybody, I did my project on W.E.B. Du Bois. His full name is William Edward Burghardt Du Bois, so I understand why he wanted to be W.E.B. He was born on February 23rd, 1868, in a small town in Massachusetts, and he died at the age of 95. Um, he was one of the first black people to actually do something, and he got a great education, especially in his time. When he was young, he identified himself as a mulatto, which is half black, half white. So he was still able to go to school with the rest of the white kids, and all of his teachers were helpful with that as well. After he graduated high school, he went to Fisk University in Nashville, and um, that's a school that's known for its black liberal arts and stuff, and it's also where he became involved with the Jim Crow laws, and that really hit him about racism. After Fisk University, he went on to Harvard, and he got his PhD in history. He was invited to do a study abroad program in Berlin, and he accepted, but he didn't stay for about more than a year. And one of the articles I read, it said that he was working with the most prominent social scientists of his day, and knowing Berlin, it's probably true. After he returned, he wrote a book about a case study on a Philadelphia Negro, and that really set off his reputation as an activist for equality. In the book, he talked about the talented 10th, and he said that 1 out of 10 people become a leader, and he was specifically talking to the black people. He taught in Atlanta for about 10 years, and that's where he met Booker T. Washington, where he basically got in a huge argument over. It's kind of funny. Washington said that blacks shouldn't run for political office or get a higher education to further their mind, I guess. But Du Bois was really upset about that, and he didn't like that Washington kept saying that. And eventually, in 1903, he published a book called The Souls of Black Folk, and that consisted of about 14 essays, and it was his opinion that basically opposed Washington's about the Negro's role in society. In 1909, the NAACP, also known as the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, was organized, and he was one of the main founders for that, and I thought that was quite interesting. He also became the editor for its magazine called The Crisis. During that time, women's rights also came into play, and he decided, he also thought that their equality was very important, so he pushed for women's equality as well as the blacks, and I thought that was so cool. He continued writing books and essays, and toward the end of his life, about in the Great Depression, he got in a really big argument with the leader of NAACP, sorry, and over stupid stuff. It was just the voluntary segregation, and long story short, Du Bois, he left the NAACP and slowly slid away from all of the leadership roles. In 1951, so not too long before his death, he got in this really big case. He was accused of being in the Communist Party, and during that time, if you were in the Communist Party, you go to jail and stuff. And the judge eventually threw this case out, but he was so outraged that he decided to move to Ghana, and within a year he denounced his American citizenship, and he really stupid. He joined the Communist Party. So, he was accused of being a communist. Like, why not? I'll be a communist. Yeah, so his impact on society was really, on the education society, was really about equality and making sure that blacks had the equal opportunity to receive their education as well as whites, you know. So, yeah, that's my project.